style, man, thug style. When this whole beat drop, we just gonna run it to him, man. It's all good.
I never had much, ran with a bad bunch. Little skinny kids sneaking weed in my bag lunch. And all through junior high, we was just getting by. And drive-bys, ride my homies of the young lives. I never did cry, and even though I had pain in my heart, I was hopeless from the start. They couldn't tell me nothing, they all tried to help me. The marijuana had my mind gone, it wasn't healthy. I traveled places, cold cases were the ill, yeah. I felt the pain and the rain, but I'm still here. Never did like the police, let the whole world know. Now I get no peace, cause they're chasing me down and facing me now. What do I do? These things that a thug goes through, and still I rise. So keep your head up and make your mind strong. It's a struggle every day, but you gotta hold on.
Hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong.
hold on,
When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong,
hold on,
be strong. When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong,
hold on,
be strong. When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong, be strong,
hold on.
be strong. When it's on, it's on. There's never a good day, cause in my hood they let their AKs pump strays where the kids play. And every Halloween, check out the murder scene. Can't help but duplicate the violence seen on the screen. My homies dying before they get to see their birthdays. This is the worst days, sometimes it hurts to pray. And even God turned his back on the ghetto youth. I know that ain't the truth, sometimes I look for proof. I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, and if it does, doesn't matter if you blood or you cuz. Remember how it was, the picnics and the parties in the projects, small time drinking, getting high with the mobbies. Just another knucklehead kid from the gutter. I'm dealing with the madness, raised by a single mother. I'm trying to tell you in the song, you gotta keep your head to the sky and be strong. Most of all, hold on,
Hold on,
be strong,
hold on,
be strong.
hold on,
When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong,
hold on,
be strong. When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong,
hold on,
be strong. When it's on, it's on.
hold on,
Be strong,
hold on,
be strong,
hold on.
be strong. When it's on, it's on.
Hold on, be strong.
I know them ain't tears coming down your
It's
face.
on, but hold on,
Wipe your
be
eyes.
strong.
In this world,
When it's on, it's on, but
only the
hold
strong
on.
survive,
Be
sweetheart.
strong.
I know it's hard out
It's
there.
on, but hold on, be
Welfare,
strong.
AIDS,
When it's on,
earthquakes.
it's on, but hold on.